Breaking news out of Las Vegas. The Raiders just made a bold move that could change everything. They've added a linebacker who hits hard, moves fast, and brings fire to the field. And Raiders fans, this name might just excite you. But before we jump into this major update, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss breaking Raiders news. All right, let's get into it. The Las Vegas Raiders have just signed linebacker Germaine Pratt, and this is big. Pratt isn't just a solid player, he's a force. He started all 17 games last season and racked up 143 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 4 turnovers forced or recovered. That's not luck. That's pure talent. He was recently let go by the Cincinnati Bengals, but don't let that fool you. It wasn't about his play. The Bengals are tight on cash after paying big names on offense and handling contract issues on defense. They had to make cuts, and Pratt became the odd man out. Now, the Raiders swooped in, smart, fast, and aggressive. Pratt brings power, speed, and leadership to the linebacker group. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches and weighing 240 pounds, he's a true downhill threat. He moves well and isn't slowing down like some others from his draft class. There's buzz out of camp that Landon Roberts might start. But with Pratt in the picture, don't be surprised if he takes over that role quickly. He could line up right next to Devin White, with guys like Amari Gaynor rotating in. Plus, Gaynor could learn a lot from Pratt. They've got similar size and style. The Raiders didn't just get depth, they got a potential starter and game changer. The Raiders are 2 days into minicamp, and already they're making moves. That tells us one thing. The coaching staff isn't satisfied with what they've seen at linebacker. When a team adds talent this early in camp, it sends a clear message. They want more. Signing Germaine Pratt wasn't just a move. It was a statement. They saw an opportunity, and they took it. If Pratt hadn't been released by Cincinnati, maybe the Raiders wouldn't have added anyone. But once he hit the market, Vegas didn't waste a second, and the stats back it all up. Last season, Pratt had over 100 tackles, 10 pressures, and 5 hits on the quarterback. He also grabbed 2 interceptions and got his hands on the ball several more times. This isn't just a run stopper. It's a smart, active defender who knows how to cover space. People may not label Pratt as a coverage linebacker, but don't let that fool you. With 8 career interceptions, he's proven he can read the field and make big plays. He may not have the fame of a Fred Warner or a Shaq Thompson, but he brings production. And that's what counts. The Raiders seem ready to keep building this defense, even if it means more new faces. In fact, cornerback Shaquille Griffin has also been spotted visiting the team. He's a former Pro Bowler with raw athletic talent, and he's worked with coaches connected to the Raiders' current staff. He hasn't lived up to early hype, but Vegas might be the place where it finally clicks. With Germaine Pratt now officially part of the team, the Raiders' roster shuffle has begun. That means someone will have to go. It's just how the numbers work. And if Shaquille Griffin ends up signing too, expect another name to be released in the coming days. Usually, when you bring in a linebacker gets cut. When a new corner arrives, an old one often leaves. So the next few moves from Vegas will give us a clear look at who's on the bubble. Now, let's talk about this Raiders secondary, because it's still a major question mark. There's talent, no doubt, but not much proven consistency. Darren Porter has been getting serious attention in camp, and Eric Stokes is expected to be a starter. But let's be real. Porter hasn't played corner that long, and Stokes comes with some baggage. Even fans of his last team weren't fully sold on him. It's not just the corners either. Linebackers like Landon Roberts and Devin White are under the microscope too. Roberts is getting older, and White's performance has slipped over the last 2 seasons. There's experience in that group, but questions remain. Still, day 2 of minicamp brought some encouraging signs. Reports say the energy was high and the execution was sharp. The quarterback, someone the coaches clearly believe in, showed real command of the offense. He connected with Michael Mayer for a big touchdown on a seam route, splitting 2 defenders with perfect accuracy. That play stood out, not just for the throw, but for how the play design worked. Speedsters like Trey Tucker and Dante Thornton helped clear the field, opening up Mayer underneath. It's the kind of teamwork and structure that could make this offense dangerous when the season starts. The pieces are starting to come together, but this roster is still in motion. Don't be surprised if the Raiders make more changes before camp is over. Let's talk about Gino Smith, because what he's doing in minicamp is turning heads. Most quarterbacks play it safe. They use influence routes just to draw defenders away and set up something short underneath. But Gino? He's not wired like that. If he sees an opening, even if it's tight, he'll take the risk and fire it downfield. That's exactly what happened on a recent touchdown in camp. Michael Mayer was supposed to pull coverage, not actually get the ball. But Gino launched it right between two safeties. Touchdown, Raiders. It's bold, aggressive football, and it's what this offense has been missing. This is why the Raiders could become a serious threat this season. Explosive plays, quick drives. We're talking 3 snaps, and it's 6 points on the board. Gino drops back. 30-yard strike. Ashton Jeanty bursts through the line for 20 more. Then another deep ball. Touchdown. Just like that. That's what the Raiders are building toward. Speed, confidence, and execution. Now, it hasn't all been perfect. Gino's thrown a few picks in practice. It happens. But the big picture is clear. He's in rhythm, and he's clicking with his guys. One of those guys? Michael Mayer. He's been one of the biggest standouts through both OTAs and minicamp. Coaches and reporters are buzzing, saying Mayer looks sharper, faster, and more confident. Some believe he's going to break out in a big way this year, and honestly, it looks like they're right. Another name making noise is Tyree Wilson on defense. Quiet last season, but now he's flashing more explosiveness off the edge. Coaches think this could be the year he puts it all together. And don't forget about Jeremy Chinn. He's brought serious intensity to minicamp, already breaking up passes and setting the tone. On one rep, he shut down Jakobi Meyers with a strong physical play. Chinn knows this system too. He played in a version of it before, something close to what the Raiders are installing now. This defense is starting to form its identity. Tough, fast, no nonsense. And with guys like Chinn, Mayer, and Gino leading the way, the Raiders are finally starting to feel like a complete team. There's a new energy in the Raiders' defense, and Jeremy Chinn is at the heart of it. He's not just playing safety. He's playing everywhere. On the line? He's there. Dropping into coverage? Already doing it. Blitzing off the edge or locking down the middle like a linebacker? That too. Chinn is the kind of chess piece every defensive coordinator dreams of. And now, in a system that actually fits his skill set, he's thriving. The Raiders aren't guessing where to use him. They're unleashing him. He's already snagged some interceptions and made several standout plays in minicamp. And this isn't hype, it's happening consistently. There's real belief that Jeremy Chinn is entering the prime of his career, and it's going to be in silver and black. On the offensive side, there's plenty to be excited about too. Gino Smith continues to build rhythm with his weapons, including Michael Mayer and Jakobi Meyers. Both caught touchdown passes during team drills. Yes, Gino had a tipped ball interception as well, but that's part of the game. And then there's Dante Thornton. The rookie wideout lit up the field with a deep route that left the defender in the dust. Should have been a walk-in touchdown, but he dropped it. Still, what matters is that he created that opportunity. Beating defenders deep? That's a skill you can't coach. And the fact that Gino hit him in stride means the chemistry is growing. Thornton is currently getting first-team reps. That's no small thing. He and Trey Tucker have been working outside, while Jakobi Meyers continues to dominate in the slot. That's starting to shape the roles. Tucker and Thornton as the outside threats, and Meyers as the route technician underneath. And don't forget about Jack Beck, another player who may see snaps inside. What's interesting is that some believe Jakobi Meyers might already be the Raiders' best wide receiver. If that's the case, this receiving core is deeper than people think. It's fast, it's versatile, and with Gino pulling the trigger, it could be deadly. The pieces are clicking in Vegas, on both sides of the ball. And with more camp ahead, It feels like something big is brewing in the desert. The Raiders' wide receiver competition is heating up, and it's more than just talent. It's about opportunity. Jacoby Myers is clearly the guy in the slot, and as long as that's the case, Jack Beck is going to have to fight from the second team. It's not that Beck isn't promising, it's that his role is occupied. Meanwhile, Dante Thornton and Trey Tucker are battling for the outside. Thornton might have the edge right now. He's been making plays, flashing that deep speed, and drawing eyes in practice. It wouldn't be surprising if he ends up starting while Beck continues to develop behind the scenes. This isn't about who's better overall. It's about who has a clear lane to playing time. Thornton's lane is wide open. Beck's, not so much, not while Myers is healthy and active. But long-term, there's a strategy at play. If Beck can grow into even 80% of what Myers brings, smooth route running, reliable hands, slot versatility, then next offseason gets interesting. It opens the door for a changing of the guard. That's not guaranteed, but it's clearly part of the vision. The offense isn't the only group showing promise. In the backfield, Ashton Jeanty is getting looks all over the field, running, catching, shifting around. While it's hard to fully judge the ground game without full pads, the early signs are strong. Jeanty's versatility is being noticed. And on defense, Max Crosby is doing Max Crosby things. Gino Smith tried to hit a check down into the flats, but Crosby read it like a veteran cornerback. Pick six, straight to the house. Then came the celebration. Crosby launched the ball into the air as the entire defense stormed the end zone. But this wasn't a lucky play. It was intentional. The defense has been drilling these situations. Edge rushers are now faking pressure, then dropping into the flats to steal short throws. It's a wrinkle we didn't see much of in the past, and it's working. That's the kind of high IQ, high-energy shift this Raiders defense needs. When your leader is making plays and setting the tone like that in minicamp, it's contagious. The Raiders' defense is playing chess while the offense is playing checkers, and Max Crosby just checkmated Gino Smith. Here's how it went down. The offensive line sees 5 defenders. They know who to block. Simple, right? But the Raiders are getting clever. They're disguising pressure, showing one look and delivering another. Picture this. Max Crosby takes a step forward like he's about to rush, so the tackle locks in on him. But suddenly, Crosby drops into coverage. And from the blind side, a linebacker shoots through untouched. By the time the lineman realizes Crosby isn't coming, it's too late. The blitzer is already breathing down the quarterback's neck. Even crazier? It wasn't just Crosby. Malcolm Kuntze, Tyree Wilson, and others were rotating into this simulated pressure package, creating constant confusion. And then came the trap. Gino Smith sees heat coming from the linebackers, so he makes the right read. Or so he thinks. He tries to dump it off quickly to Ashton Jeanty, expecting an easy gain. But the Raiders baited him. Crosby dropped into the flat, read the play perfectly, jumped the throw, and snagged a pick six. That wasn't just instinct, that was strategic discipline. This is what defensive coordinator Patrick Graham is dialing up. Last year, he was already aggressive with linebacker blitzes. Now he's blending that with deception. Simulated pressure that messes with protection schemes without sacrificing coverage. It's smart, it's disruptive, and it's working. Max Crosby's interception wasn't just a highlight. It was a message. This defense is evolving. And it wasn't the only turnover of the day. Darnay Holmes, who's been flying around during camp, added 2 more interceptions. One off Aiden O'Connell. Holmes is making a serious case to be a key piece in the secondary. 2 picks in 1 practice? That's not a fluke, that's a tone setter. Darnay Holmes is quietly turning heads, and he might be the Raiders' secret weapon in the secondary. Let's talk about why this matters. Holmes isn't just floating around on the depth chart, he's getting real work with the first-team defense. In nickel formations, he's locking down the slot corner position and even getting some looks at safety depending on the package. That versatility? It's gold in today's NFL. From what's being seen at minicamp, Holmes is likely ahead of Jacorian Bennett right now. Bennett, who's recovering from surgery, hasn't had the same impact so far, and that's opened the door for Holmes to make his move. And he's not wasting the opportunity. The Raiders' defense is coming alive, and they're doing it with smarts, speed, and swagger. In one session, Holmes reportedly snagged 2 interceptions, one off Gino Smith, the other off Aidan O'Connell. Back-to-back picks in a single day. That's not just performance, that's momentum. The Raiders aren't just experimenting. They're testing which players can rise in real time. And Holmes is passing the test. Yes, it's early. Yes, it's practice. But interceptions, pass breakups, and good reads matter. That's how you earn snaps in the regular season. Not just because of what you've done in the past, but because of what you're doing right now. And here's something else to remember. The defense is naturally ahead of the offense during this phase. Offensive schemes take time, new terminology, new timing, new relationships. Meanwhile, defense relies more on fundamentals, instincts, and trust. So while the offense is still syncing up, the defense is setting the tone. And it's showing. Guys like Holmes, Jeremy Chin, and Max Crosby are flying around and making plays that scream confidence. What we're seeing from this Raiders defense isn't just individual flashes. It's a unit taking shape with swagger and structure. If Holmes keeps it up, don't be surprised if he carves out a real starting role this fall. The Raiders are building something, and Darnay Holmes might just be one of the surprise pieces holding it together.